I recently converted a spare room into a home office setup since I've been getting into video editing and web development lately. My requirements for my desk setup were that it's uncluttered, look good, and minimal, but still functional. It's a work in progress, but I'm pleased with it so far. I find that if I like my working environment, I'm more likely to get things done. The desk is the Herman Aria. Honestly, the main reason I bought this desk was the design. It has a contemporary look, but I think it will age well. It is made out of walnut and the frame is painted metal, and I think overall the quality is great. It has the best cable management I've seen on any desk, with a large compartment to hide power adapters and all of your cables. It also has an integrated storage drawer which helps keep all your items hidden away but still accessible. I think a neat solution is to keep a USB hub in here so that you don't have to go to the back of the iMac every time you want to access a port or an SD card slot. There are a few downsides though. The desk is thicker than any monitor or microphone mount that I could find anywhere, and there's no height adjustability. I'm happy to put up with those downsides for the sake of the design and the cable management, but they're worth knowing about. I have what's probably become the standard chair, the Herman Aeron. I primarily bought it because I really like the grey colour. It has a lot of adjustability and it's really comfortable, but overall I probably preferred the embody chair that I had by Herman Miller before. I switched back to Mac this year after briefly trying Windows. I had built a mini ITX PC which I really enjoyed, but ultimately I missed the Apple ecosystem. I've gotten used to high DPI displays and I really missed that. I went with the middle of the range version in grey, mainly for the extra ports, the Ethernet and the power brick and the Touch ID on the keyboard. It's great value considering that I couldn't even find a display that was this good at this price for my PC, and it handles everything that I've thrown at it so far. I had considered the Pro Display XDR for the larger screen size, and I'd still like to have it, but it's too expensive for my use case at the moment anyway. The speakers are the Genelec 8020s, and they're in this kind of raw, unfinished metal design. I'd thought about buying these speakers for years, but didn't like the look of the standard black finish, so when they came out with this raw version, I went for it. I think they look great. It gives them a kind of contemporary but industrial appearance. They sound great, but I'm not a professional audio engineer by any means. They're for near field listening, which is ideal for me, and I listen to them at volumes which I find don't require a subwoofer, so I'm really happy with them. Out of the box they have this green status light which I think kind of ruins the look. I bought these really useful LED blackout stickers from Amazon, and I think this improves the look dramatically, and it's not as if I mind not having the status light anyway. I'll put a link for them and everything else in this video in the description. The microphone I use is the Shure SM7B and it's on a Rode PSA1 boom arm. I prefer the SM7B over the previous microphone I had, the Electro-Voice RE20, because I think it does a better job at rejecting room noise and just sounds a bit more natural with my voice. I'm also using a cloud lifter to make sure I have enough clean gain to power the SM7B without introducing a whole load of background noise. The boom arm is good if you mount it on a standard desk, but I've tried to mount it to a wooden panel of my desk and it's precarious. If I move the speaker or move the boom arm too quickly, the whole thing will collapse and has done before. I think it's a testament to the quality of the boom arm, the microphone and the iMac that nothing was damaged. I'll probably change this part of the setup soon as something's inevitably going to break. The audio interface that I'm using is the Motu M2. I bought this over the Focusrite Scarlett because I don't like the red colour that comes with. It's an entry-level interface, but it has enough I/O for most people, I would say. I'd prefer it if the microphone input was on the back, but since the desk has such good cable management, I still think it looks pretty good. Not strictly desk related, but I've been using the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I went with the graphite colour. I switched from the 12 mini that I was using last year. I used to prefer the ergonomics and small form factor of the 12 mini, but you get used to the bigger screen of the 13 Pro Max pretty quickly. My main reason for switching was the battery life. I found that I was always running out of battery on the 12 mini, and any gains you get with a small form factor is outweighed by the fact that your phone is always out of battery. Apart from the battery life, my favourite new feature of the 13 Pro Max is the display. I didn't think I would notice it as much as I do, but the ProMotion technology that they've integrated has made it really difficult to go back to other screens now. I spent ages trying to find a MagSafe charger that fit in with my setup and actually worked properly. Some of the ones I bought were so light that when you picked up your charging phone, the whole charger came with it, and I didn't find that ideal. This one is the best I could find. It's made out of a solid piece of aluminium alloy and it's heavy enough that it doesn't come up easily with the phone when you take it off the charger. It's only around £20, which is significantly cheaper than some of the other ones that are on the market, and I think it's the best balance of cost and aesthetics. I'll link it down in the description in case you're interested in picking up. I normally have my iPhone in the Apple leather case. I've kept the Apple wallet that I used last year with the iPhone 12 mini. The colour doesn't match, but I find it so convenient to not have to remember my wallet as it's usually stuck to the back of my phone. I've been using the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID that came with the iMac. The Touch ID is really convenient, but I'm not the biggest fan of the typing experience. It's not the worst typing experience, but I type quite heavily, so the shallow depth of the keys isn't my favourite. I've actually already replaced this keyboard as I'm spending a lot of time doing web development lately and I prefer the typing experience on a mechanical keyboard. I bought the Keychron Q1 keyboard, which is a bare bones ISO kit. I'm just waiting for the keycaps and the switches to arrive, and I'll make a video on assembling this and my first impressions on this channel. Whilst I was filming this video, I bought the Logitech Mx Master for Mac. I really like that it charges by USB-C. It has the infinity scrolling and has the lateral scrolling for Logic and Final Cut Pro. One thing I didn't like was this mouse doesn't come with the Logitech unifying receiver. No matter what Logitech say, I don't find their mice work particularly well if you don't use the unifying receiver. So I had to purchase that separately. So that's about everything for my setup. Thank you for watching to this point. It's still a work in progress, but I'm really happy with it so far. If you'd like to see a video on the Keychron keyboard assembly or anything else you've seen in this video, please leave a comment to let me know. And please do consider liking and subscribing because there'll be more videos coming along very soon. Thank you.